Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another video in the series where I choose an experiment with this vintage pattern book. So from my research, it seems like this was kind of like a weekly subscription or something you'd buy at the newsagents, and you could collect them in magazines. They came with paper patterns and special little technique cards to tell you how to do certain sewing techniques. Today I've decided to do the pleated trousers with false fly front zip opening, side pockets and a button waistband, and it reckons that they're supposed to have a nice tailored look without any complicated techniques, so we shall see on that one. Okay, so I'm starting off by just cutting out the pattern from the pattern pieces. I opted to cut out the larger size just because I'm a bit skeptical of the vintage sizing, and I figured to cut out a bigger size I could easily size it down, but if I cut out a smaller size, sizing up is way harder. So starting with step 1, check the pattern for fit. Make any adjustments necessary before you cut out the fabric. I chose to do that after, just because that's the way I work. Make darts in the trouser back pieces and press towards side seams. Step 2, tack and stitch the center back seam from waist edge to end of seam. Press open, clip curves, and neaten the seam allowance. Step 3. Matching snips, place front pocket piece to sloping edge on side seam, right sides together and stitch in place, then turn to the wrong side and edge stitch. Repeat for the other side. Step 4. Stitch the pocket back to front pocket along curved edge. Stitch both pocket pieces to trouser front at side seam, keeping within seam allowance and stitching through all the layers. Repeat again for the second pocket. I'm pretty sure I did all that off camera just because. So there's no footage of me sewing on the pockets. So we'll just skip to the next thing. Step 5. Neaten edges of center front seam allowances and fly front extensions. So I used my overlocker to do that. Stitch seam from crotch to the dot that's marked on the pattern. 6. Starting from snip on waist edge nearest pocket, make 2 folds in each front piece by bringing the dashed lines together in pairs. 7. Secure top edges of pockets and folds by stitching along the waist edge just inside a seam allowance, ending each line of stitching at the center front opening. Okay, here we are coming to the tricky bit. Step 8. Fold left fly extension to wrong side along the center fold line and press. Press new fold line in seam allowance 4 mm from fold. Place zip with teeth close to fold. Tack and stitch close to edge from end of zip to waist. Even just reading that out loud confuses my brain. This is where I got confused, and then I just did my own thing to make it look how it looks in the pictures at the end. Turn the fly extension to wrong side on right front so that the fold meets the center fold line of the left front exactly. Okay, 10. Working from wrong side, tack and stitch the zip to fly extension. Clip to dot and into seam allowances at bottom of curve on fly extensions. So even just chuck a zip on. Working on the right side, top stitch along right front opening, 3 centimeters from folded edge, curving stitching towards the zip end and making sure that the stitching does not carry over onto the left front. See, that I understand, you're top stitching and doing that little like curvy thing that all shorts and pants generally have. I get that. 12. Remove all tacking from zip and press. Pin, tack and stitch fronts to backs at side seams of trousers. Stitch inside leg seams, matching snips. The distance between the snips on the back is greater than that on the front. This must be eased in when stitching the seam. Clip curves and neaten. Cut interfacing to half width of waistband. Trim away seam allowances if using an iron-on. Interfacing, I'm assuming that's what I mean. Apply to the waistband, with waistband extending at left front, match the seams and markings, stitch waistband to waist edge. Okay, I got it. So you got to leave a little bit of overhang on your waistband. Okay, let's do that. Turn waistband to inside and fold lengthwise along the center. Stitch the short ends of extensions and turn through to the right side. Turn remaining long edge of waistband to wrong side and tack in place. Okay, I've done that before, so I understand this step. 16. Top stitch along one or both long edges of the waistband as you wish. Make a horizontal buttonhole 1 cm from right end of waistband and sew on a button to the left front to correspond. Turn up your hems and then stitch the trouser hems. Right, let's do it. Okay, so at this finishing point, I got to the stage where I tried the pants on and they were too big. So the next step for me is I'm adding my own extra steps. So I'm bringing the legs in at the side seams and the inner crotch leg seam as well. I initially just did a long base stitch for that, and then I'm gonna chuck them on again and try them on to see if they look a bit better. And yeah, they look better. They're still a bit puffy because of the pleats, but that can't help that. That's a part of the design, I think. So just have to work around it. And then the waistband wasn't sitting flat. I had a bit of overhang, so I added these hook and eyelet thingers as well. And there we go, ta-da! Let's see what it actually looks like